Hi, people. Welcome back to Often Wrong. It is just me today, your host, Lisa Nwankwo. This is a little solo, a little real, but today we have no co-host, no guest, just a little note from the edge of a crash out or the edge of a breakthrough, depending on how you want to look at it. But as always, you can leave your comments, talk to me here since I'm here alone, and also that includes Claire. So I can't wait to see what Claire says about what I'm about to say here and if she agrees, and you'll find out next episode. So, before I get into it, we are taking a 2-week break from Often Wrong. I posted this on our Instagram, but then I realized that if you don't follow the Instagram and you just follow us here, you might not have known that. So 1, here's your notice, and 2, follow our Instagram. It is at Often Wrong Pod on Instagram. So don't worry, we'll be back on the airwaves in no time on May 11th with more conversations that challenge, soothe, and maybe roast your soul. But I didn't want to leave you hanging with nothing. And yeah, this pause, it was scheduled. And sure, but the timing ended up being divine for us, I think. And after the Rage episode, I just feel like, what a narrative here. So yeah, it's a whole practice and it's worth mentioning. So today, what I'm available for is a short interlude, and what Claire is available today is more rest. And all of those are good answers. And let's get into it. Okay, so here we are with a little Often Wrong interlude featuring me, Lisa Nwankwo. So here's what I have been sitting with lately that I think is relevant to bring to the pod. I've always noticed, and maybe you have too, that I feel like we're so quick to glorify the grind and being like, okay, quote unquote, even in social justice circles, and maybe especially in social justice circles. I don't really have any context because it's the only thing I've ever done. So let me know, but that's how it feels for me. Maybe it's because it all feels so urgent all of the time, or maybe it's just a good way to look away from your own life and how you actually feel. And I think, me included, I've always felt that if I stay fast enough or busy enough, I'll win. But what if the thing that moves us forward isn't actually movement at all? So yeah, I don't know if you've heard of the NAP ministry, but I think they're really cool. That's been coming. I think that I first saw it in like 2020. But yeah, they're really just promoting the value of rest. And yeah, what if rest, like this deep and defiant and unapologetic rest and reckoning, is the most powerful thing you can do today or ever? From the NAP ministry, Tricia Hersey said, rest is a form of resistance because it disrupts and pushes back against capitalism and white supremacy. So that's beautiful and for a bigger picture thing. But it's like when we pause, we really get to reclaim our time and we get to reject this idea that our worth is measured by our output. And you also get to reject the idea that you have to have all of the answers. So yeah, this break that we're on right now is very political and it's also personal, as it always is. All right, so let's be even more real. Sometimes we don't get to choose rest. And sometimes we'll do like a self-care day and we'll do all these different things, but like the deep, real rest that you need sometimes just gets forced on you. And you're dragged into it, whether it's by your body, by grief, by rage, by breakdowns or illness, and you are forced to sit with yourself. And that to me is the most magical thing. When you get a cold and you have to like lay down for a couple of days and you have to drink a lot of water, you should have been laying down anyway and you should have been drinking water anyway, but it was a good reminder, a messenger that was sent to you to tell you to slow down. I think another big example, to be super real, is I, as I've said before, just got married in February and it was the happiest thing ever. I love my wife so much. I love my life so much. But also I'm realizing that no one told me that when you achieve the things that you wanted, it throws a lot of your beliefs into a big challenge because it's incongruent with your past. So for me, getting this like safety and stability that I always wanted is actually kind of terrifying because I always wanted it, but I'm like, oh, what is this? So yeah, I don't know. Have you ever been there? I feel like it's not like elegant. It's not pretty. It's not talked about that much because I had no idea it was coming. And maybe it's not even productive, but it is honest. And that is something that I'm really focused on right now. Because I feel like for me, that honesty really cracked something open. And like underneath all the chaos was like this truth that I've been overriding myself and ignoring myself. I feel like I've been overriding my exhaustion. I've been overriding my need for silence, overriding warning signs and what the scared version of me really needed to hear. So that's kind of like the message of this mini interlude episode is let it fall apart. Because for me, when I did that, something really sacred kind of happened. And the pieces started talking to me. And it was like, you're not actually weak. You're not actually, the scaredness isn't the worst part. You're actually really wise for realizing that it's time to stop pretending and be super real with yourself and everybody else. We talk about on this show a lot about how important it is to be willing to be wrong. But I think we also have to be willing for that to go so far that you can be like completely undone by your wrongness. Not in like a self-destructive way, but in a way that lets like all of your old frameworks die so that a new one can come out. So meltdowns, pauses, breaks, they're all part of the cycle. It's all part of how we grow clearer, braver, more in alignment with ourselves. And yeah, it's not just rest is not just a reward for surviving. It's what we get to rebuild in. So often wrong isn't about these big sharp takes. It's about softer landings. And this break is us landing and practicing what we preach. And yeah, I don't believe anyone who tells me that they have all the answers, and I definitely don't. But one thing that I know is that things like this, talking things out, being honest, and taking a break when you need it are all critical pieces of how the story goes. So while we're off the mic for 2 weeks, I wanted to leave you with a couple of questions. You don't have to journal them. You don't have to do anything with them. You could just let them float around, maybe answer them in your mind, or you could just do nothing, but couple of things to think about. So, when was the last time that you truly rested? Not just slept, but like unplugged from this need to be useful. Heavy quotes. That's the first one. I'll let that sink in. Okay. Then we have number 2. What's something in your life that's falling apart or fraying, and what could it be trying to tell you? That's really important. And I feel like we don't slow down long enough to figure out what that is. We just try to fix it without noticing that actually that did need to fall apart. And if you gave yourself full permission to have a meltdown, following our rage episode, we said it's okay to feel your rage. It's okay to do that. What happens after that? Maybe a meltdown. If you gave yourself permission to do that, what would you stop pretending to be okay with? So if you feel so moved, please drop us a comment, leave something below, whether that's the answer to your question, your reaction to what I'm saying here, anything you want to say, really, you can leave it in the comments on any platform that you're listening on or at carrotimpact.com/oftenwrong. We love to feature reflections in like upcoming episodes, but just in general, we'd like to hear from you. Okay, now I feel like we're getting realer with every segment of this tiny little episode, but one more thing I wanted to say is, I've been going through it for the past couple of months and I feel good about it. I'm really glad that it's happening. It's like uncomfortable and maybe people are annoyed with me because I'm like in my feelings majorly, but I deserve that and I like them and I like what's coming up and I like who it's making me be. But while this is happening to me, I'm also watching people around me crash out so hard right now. And I'm realizing that what I said to them is what I needed to say to myself, actually. And maybe I need to say it to all of you. So here it is. I put it in a bullet list so I can remember all the things. But number 1, your crash out is super valid. And like, you look crazy, but okay, now what? What does that even mean? Is that is that a valid critique? I don't really think so. I think if you have to start yelling and freaking out to be heard, go for it. Was it working when you didn't do it? I didn't think so. So why not try this way? And I also just think that like in my experience, there's always something on the other end of this. It's like I said in the revolution episode, you can't really see the whole room until your back is against the wall. So now you're here, your back's against the wall, look around you, name what it is, and maybe leave that room if it's time. I think we'll all be better off when we stop judging people for melting down and just admit that we all feel it too. It's a part of it. And it's a part of it for all of us, whether people admit it or not. And I really want to hear from the people who admit it. I think judgment of like these moments where you're really having this meltdown time, it's just like ugly and purposeless, because I think now more than ever, it's time to be really honest about who you are and what this all is, because it's critical in this broader social justice arena, but it's also always critical for you, which I think comes up in every single episode. It's very like as above, so below moment in every moment. So yeah, just let that be a little message, a continuance of our rage episode, and just to say that what happens next after rage is for you. Let it be for you and engage it and say it out loud and let's talk about it. I wonder if that's the whole point. So that was it. That was just our little interlude. I had a couple of things I wanted to say, and I also just wanted to let you know about our break. But we will be back on May 11th. We will be a little clearer, a little messier in the best way possible, and more hydrated. So until then, take what you need. Be gentle with your mess. We are all learning this together, and we will do it better when we do it together. So talk to you later and see you on episode 14.
Wrong is produced by Lisa Nwankwo, Claire Cornetta, and Joe Abdella. This episode was shot and edited by Joe Abdella. Special thanks to Michael Drummonds. Often Wrong is a Carrot Impact podcast. Go to carrotimpact.com/oftenwrong to learn more.